My friends, it's Andrea here with an update on the financial calendar. I would like to tell you a bit of background. We continued the daily BTC updates from our Eclipse Marathon in a small group of roughly 15-20 people, and I found out that it was interesting, especially for day traders, I guess. And also for investors in altcoins that consider the performance of BTC in detail for investing in altcoins, because in the end we still have BTC dominating the market. And I see that we do have hourly aspects that were conveyed each day, and there is this expectation that things happen to the minute and to the hour even, or also at day level for the monthly calendar you might have the same expectation. However, the reality is not like this, and I would like to talk about this. In general, for a car to get from A to B, we have a certain speed and also traffic conditions, and even the same distance from A to B will not be traversed in the same amount of time each and every time repeatedly. And this is also the case with the planets, because the planets do not have constant speed. Yes, there is a average speed, but when a planet, for example, turns retrograde, then it will become stationary, and the movement would be much slower. So this has to be taken into account as well. Reality is complex, and human life, especially even from birth. For example, we are used to wait 9 months for a baby to appear in this world, but this doesn't happen at all times. Sometimes the baby comes sooner, for example after 7 months, but still the life is there. So from the beginning of life, complexity is there and predictability is not 100%. And why would be the case different with astrology for financial assets like Bitcoin? So I would like to go deeper into an analogy, and if you have a sensitive stomach, I kindly ask you to stop eating, because unfortunately I didn't find a better comparison than the price action of BTC and the human digestive system. So we have a meal plan, and we do have also a shit plan, or maybe we don't have, but actually this is what we try to do when we predict the BTC price action. What you see, the exact aspects, degrees, when certain astrology happens, this is the meal plan for BTC. But the price, it's reflected in the shit plan. Then, the price would be really revealed. And as we know, this doesn't happen, or rarely happens when, for example, somebody has diarrhea, it would be maybe spot on after eating, but it will be a delay, a certain lag. And the product of the digestion also matters based on what you ate before, and also maybe also what you plan to eat still will contribute to the digestion as well, so like a diet. So the diet here and a long-term meal plan would be the medium and long-term aspects in the financial calendar that you can see with font of 20, 25 and even 30. So these are diets, so to speak, so long-term plans, meal plans. And here we can expect that the reflection in the price will not be spot on the date. We have various observations, and I compiled in each financial calendar a table with strengths of the weather aspects and the specific aspects based on observation, telling you when we can really see the effect of a certain meal plan, so to speak. Also with human digestion, we do know that meat, if it's raw, for example, we don't eat raw meat anymore, but let's say if it's half done, then the digestion would be longer. and we have certain hours, for example, it would be 72 hours. For a done meat, it would be 48 hours. For vegetables cooked, it would be 8 hours. For vegetables raw, 4 hours. Fruits, 4 hours, and so on. So we do have a certain average here, but the reality is much more complex and it will not occur in the same way at the same time. So it will never be 100% accuracy. Sometimes it appears to you that it happens on the spot, and this happened even, with hourly aspects in some days, and the people who were in the eclipse marathon noticed it as well. But this is a sort of coincidence or things aligning, when the fact really happens afterwards. Let's say you had a hot curry and then you had a mango, very ripe, not kept in the best conditions, and then diarrhea came immediately. So imagine something like that, which happens in some days. Usually it is not on the planet, to keep track of the midnight in the UTC time zone. We humans think about this. So a daily aspect is not really valid only for that day. It's roughly 3 days before and after, but it could be even longer in some cases with the various types of aspects. I summarize what I observed. Again, it will not apply 100% of the cases, but most of the cases it will be valid. Please check the link in the description of this video. Now we would not compute all the time because each day would be the soup of the previous days and the next days. This is the reality, and we should really keep an eye on a time period of several days where we have a lot of short-term aspects that are, for example, green, and also big long-term aspects that are green. Usually with technical analysis, in such cases, most of the time it would be the highest alternative from what you computed as a price target. But if the aspect is strong, for example, a very bright green, then it could be that it will be even above, so it would be a new high. And for the loss, it's a little bit more complicated because to really have a crash like we had March 2020, or even the Big Depression 1929, you need a mix of at least 2 big red aspects and also small red aspects nearby for such a combination to happen, and usually this is quite rare. And therefore, I invite you to see the calendar in a fluid manner, and also realize that when you get the free ones for the week, taking this into account that you have to look before and after, then the most information you have to accurately see what happens is for the mid of the week, which is the easiest, and the beginning of the week if you are inspired to look what happened before. I hope that this is useful for you in order to identify better what would be the realistic price targets that you get via TA. I think combining this with the astrology would really help you be more accurate. I wish you success in this, and I hope this explanation helped. Thank you so much for your attention, for liking and subscribing, and until next time, be joyful.